Good evening, everyone. It's December 21st, 2023. This is the meeting of the East Longmeadow Board of Health. I am going to call this meeting to order tonight. And a couple of quick announcements. The Board of Health is recording. Is anyone else recording? Okay. And we are meeting tonight via Zoom webinar pursuant to former Governor Baker's March 2020 order rescinding certain provisions of the open meeting law extended by Governor Healy in March of 2023. So first item on the agenda tonight is to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review those minutes? I see head nods. Great. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes as written, or are there any changes to those minutes?
I motion to approve as written.
All right.
I second that.
Okay, and we will do a roll call vote. Christine Johnston, aye. Dr. Katie Jobbins.
Aye.
And Rebecca Torsha.
Aye.
All right, so minutes from the last meeting are approved as written. Thank you so much, Renee, as always. All right, Renee, is there anyone here tonight for public comment?
Let's see. Is there anybody that wants to make a comment? Please raise your hand. Okay. It looks like Ali's here, and I think he wants to start.
Okay. We do have the permit application review hearing next on the agenda. So if there is nobody else who would like to make a public comment, I just want to let anybody else go first. Okay. So I guess we will have Ali make a public comment since he is raising his hand.
Would you like me to make him a panelist or just allow it to talk?
I believe we let him, we invite him in to be able to speak.
Okay.
Okay. Hello there. Ali, do you have something you wanted to address the board for public comment tonight?
No, I'm just here for Zen Smoke Shop. I just received a letter for my lessons.
Okay, great. Well, we will move on to that unless there's anyone else for public comment. Renee, anyone else? Okay, thank you so much. So the next item on our agenda tonight is the permit application review hearing for Zane's Smoke Shop, located at 611 North Main Street in East Longmeadow. And the hearing tonight is to potentially vote on approving the tobacco sales permit and food service establishment permit applications submitted by the new owner. So at this point, we actually need a motion to open the hearing. And I can make that motion. I'd be happy to.
I can motion. Yeah, I second them.
All right, thank you. So roll call vote, Christine Johnston, aye. Dr. Katie Jobbins.
Aye.
And Rebecca Torsha.
Aye.
All right, so the hearing tonight is again on the tobacco sales permit discussion for Zane's Smoke Shop. At this point, I would love everybody on the call if they could introduce themselves. So I will start. My name is Christine Johnston. I'm the chair of the Board of Health for East Longmeadow. Katie, can you go next, please?
Yep, I'm Dr. Katie Jobbins. I'm the vice chair for the Board of Health.
Rebecca?
I'm Rebecca Torsha. I'm also a member on the Board of Health.
Great. Tammy, we'll do you and then Alex.
Tammy Spencer, Director of Public Health for the town of East Longmeadow.
Alex Ron-Karate, I'm the Health Inspector for the town of East Longmeadow.
Renee from the health.
Renee Sukow. I am the administrative assistant for the health department of East Longmeadow.
Awesome. Donna, your name on this Zoom says Alex, but if you could introduce yourself and then Sarah.
Hi, I'm Donna Bowman, Pioneer Valley Tobacco Control Officer.
Hi, I'm Sarah McColgan. I'm the Director of the Tobacco Control Program for Mass Health Officers Association.
Fantastic. And Ali, did we say that correctly? Could you introduce yourself as well?
Yes, I'm a new owner of Zen Smoke Shop in East Longmeadow. My name is Ali Sher.
All right. Thank you for joining us tonight, Ali.
Thank you.
All right. So the motion at hand tonight is, Ali, I believe you have submitted a permit application for a license to sell tobacco. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And Tammy, at this point, can we hear from the town about Ali's permit?
So I know we've had quite a few meetings in regards to Zane Smoke Shop and the violations that had occurred with the previous owner. And so now we've sort of been in this period where apparently the former owner, Muhammad Tala, has sold the property or the business to Ali Sher. Right now, the Board of Health, the health department has the authority to approve permits applications on their own, unless they feel like they need to defer to the Board of Health to make a decision on ruling. And for in this situation, we would like to defer to the Board of Health because we believe that there may be issues whether or not the new owner can continue to comply with both local and state regulations. And some of
Tammy,
the
can I ask a question?
okay.
I just have a quick question. I thought at our last meeting, we voted that the actual permit would no longer be available for anyone to use in the town. So I'm just
Absolutely.
wondering how they could reapply for the permit when it was dissolved.
They would be reapplying for the final and remaining permit that we have in town.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're with the reducing cap, that still leaves one permit open. So if whoever has this permit goes through the same process, there will not be that extra permit open if it was revoked. And so there have been a couple violations since the supposed sale of the business on November 13th. The first one occurred on November 26th. And maybe Donna, can you tell us about that November 26th event?
I don't have my emails with me. I've been home sick for the last week, so I haven't been in the office to grab all my paperwork, but I do have everything marked on the PVTC tracking tool that you all have there.
Well, I will just read out what we have about the event, and then I guess you can confirm it for us. The Pioneer Valley Tobacco Compliance Officer, Donna Bowman, on November 26, 2023, completed a youth compliance check of Zane Smoke Shop. During the compliance check, the youth entered the establishment, and while there were no products on the shelves behind the register because there's no current permit, when asked for a pack of Marlboro Red cigarettes, the clerk went into the back and brought out a pack to sell to the youth. When asked for ID and the youth was unable to present a valid ID, the clerk stated that he wouldn't sell them without a valid ID. Anything else about that, Donna?
Yes, when the youth went back to retrieve the cigarettes, when he came back out is when he asked the youth for an ID. When the youth told him they did not have it, he told the youth he could not sell, and the youth said, okay. And he said, I'm sorry, you can't because they're watching me on camera. And she said, who's watching you on camera? He said, my boss is watching me on the camera, so I can't do it. I'm sorry. And then went back to the back room to put the cigarettes back. And the youth just left the store.
Thank you, Donna.
You're welcome.
Any questions for Donna about that? And then, following up the communication from Donna on November 28th, our inspector, Alex Roncarati, went out to the site. Can you just tell us briefly
So I went out on November 28th after Donna informed us about the almost potential sale to the youth. And Ollie was there at the time of the investigation. And when I entered the store, there was no products on the shelves. And I asked if I could go check out in the back if there was any products. And Ollie allowed me to go into the back, and I looked, through all the shelves in the front of the store as well as in the back, and I did not find any cigarettes or anything. I did find one small box of some flavored vape products, which Tammy had sent the picture of that box. That box was not there when I had done my initial inspection, after all the products were supposed to be removed from the store. And it was just among the liquor in the back. But those are the only products that I had found at the time.
And you noted that it was a flavored product. as
Yes,
well.
yeah. Multiple. There was a banana flavor, a vanilla flavor, and then just a clear flavored vape.
Which in it itself, besides the fact that they were on premises without a permit, they are flavored, which is also a violation of state and local regulation. So with that being said, we wanted to make sure that we had all of the we brought to the board, this history of the noncompliance that we've received for a business that doesn't have a permit yet. The fact that I think I know Alex had talked to Mr. Shearer while she was in there, and I believe he still didn't even have control of their surveillance system, that it's still under Zane, and Zane had the passwords for it. So there's still sort of, it's hard to know whether or not, how much say Zane has in the business still, as opposed to Mr. Shearer. So this is why we want to bring this information to the board to help make the decision for whether or not to approve or deny the application for the tobacco retail sales permit.
I just want to let number one, for the cigarette, one of the old employee who used to work with the Zen, with Mr. Mohammed Talha. So the employee was trying to, so what they use, that I find out when I spoke with him. So he was saying the cross street bar was day sale. So that employee was buying from there and trying to sell to my customer. But when I find out that in the same day, that employee, he's no longer with the Zen Smoke Shop anymore. And the flavor, when I bought at the store, so I called the inventory guy, they count everything, but at that time I didn't find flavor. But once Alex was there with me, so she find out that. But after that, so she was there for a little bit long, so she check out. So I leave, and then I come back again, I check all the office and everything, because I want to make sure I don't keep those all, because that's what Zen used to be. So the number two, the flavor, whatever they used to keep, it seems like they're trying to hide in beer and wine. So she took, and I think I found one more box. It was like a 10-pack, one box. So I did took those all away. So anytime anybody inspect, it's fine with me, and you guys won't there's nothing in the bag. So I will take a responsibility if you guys find anything in my office or where they keep the inventory. So I personally go there, I check out everything. And the Marlboro Red Short, when the employee at the time he catch up to, so he was saying same thing, like my boss is watching, but I wasn't watching. But the thing is that's why I think he didn't sold, because he maybe think like I sent somebody. But that was the last day for the employee. So he was trying to bring his own tobacco and trying to sell in the store and getting his own profit. He wasn't ringing in a register. And so after that, so yes, so I did I can say fire him because of doing that. And for the camera system, I spoke with the Zen last time. As soon as I bought it, he just left the country, and I called him. I didn't get username or password from him yet, but I'm going to have a new camera system, which is I'm going to have my own all new camera and system plus a username password. So in case you guys need after that, it's fine with me.
All right. Anything else from the Tammy, from Alex, from Donna, or from Mr. Scher about the potential license at this point? And Tammy, just to make sure we're correct, the bill of sale was on November 13th, and Mr. Scher submitted the permit application in its entirety on the 14th.
I believe so, but he
Okay.
has not submitted an application for food service.
Okay. I think at this point, we're just talking about the tobacco.
Plus one more, I want to let you guys know that. So when Talha sold me store, he didn't pay the $5,000 fine. So I had an agreement with the town that I'm going to pay $835 per month for next 6 months. I already paid 2 payments, so I just have to pay only $3,300 more from that 5,000.
And I just have a question for you, Mr. Scher. Is the previous owners at all still owners within the company?
No, he's no longer with the company anymore.
Okay.
And Tammy, my other question, and this is for you, is the current or the current tobacco permits, correct? If we chose to approve the application that Mr. Scher has submitted, that permit would be effective through, is it the end of September 2024? Is that
The tobacco, yes, the end of September.
the end of September? Okay. So if we chose to approve that permit, that would be a 9-month permit, correct? Okay. Basically just that's the renewal process.
Yeah,
correct?
we don't have a rotating, we have a
Okay.
firm set annual year.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear about that. All right. Rebecca or Katie, any other questions for Tammy, Alex, Donna at this point? Or Mr. Scher?
No, I don't. Like it'd be fine with me. I know town trying to be match with the state the way state used to do. So it's fine with me when you guys approve me for 9 months, and then we can renew after 9 months.
And that
And
was
you
gonna be my question, if we could do a 9-month and then reassess to see how it's gone.
And you have other businesses in Massachusetts that you
I-
own?
Yes, I have one convenience store that I'm doing agreement, so I'm going to sell that one.
So you're selling that one?
Yes, I'm selling that one and buying this one.
And have you had issues of compliance with that one?
No,
What town's that in?
it was in Granby, Mass. So I already have a agreement, and I just so he didn't done like 100% finish up yet. So hopefully it'd be end of this month or beginning like within next month. So we are agree like by January, end of January, it will be done. So I'll be done from there, and then like I'll be like buying this one.
Donna, you don't have the spreadsheet up, do you?
I do not, but I do know, I have done compliance checks with youth in Granby at Mr. Scher's store, and there have been multiple youth sales in that store. And
So there has been violations there as well, Donna.
Which
Yep.
establishment? Which establishment in Granby? What is the name of it?
Union Mart.
It's a Union Mart.
Okay. That I've also had sales there too before when I had Granby in 2020 and 2021.
Right, and at
And
that point, I believe Mr. Sher did not own the store.
Okay.
Correct.
Did yours, he had bought it after your sales, and when I took over at Granby, I had a couple sales there within a 2-month, 3-month period.
Of when when Mr. Shear was the owner?
Yes, ma'am.
And I just have a question. What happens with the FDA events that occurred at Zane's Smoke Shop? Does that affect the ability for them to, or is that based off of the previous owner?
So it's based off of the previous owner.
So we don't have to worry about that affecting current establishment rules.
All previous violations with DOR, FDA were all under the previous owner. So when Mr. Sher had to purchase the business, he had to reapply for the DOR licenses, which he does have.
And my question is, so we're starting basically from scratch. Any previous violations other than the two that were outlined, the one on November 26th and the one on November 28th. Those two would be considered if there were future violations, but no previous violations would be under consideration by the board.
And
Is that
just to
correct?
double-
That's correct.
Thank you.
And just because of those two violations, is there a way to put a probationary limit on the license if we were to vote to approve it? Just because I think that's a little concerning for me that there was products in the store and flavored vaping in the store when there was no license that was available as well. I just don't know if there's a way to do it on a probationary period.
I wish we had Lisa here tonight, but
Have you ever heard of that, Sarah?
Sarah, you're muted.
she said she's trying to unmute.
Okay, there I am. I don't see any reason why you can't. I'm trying to, at the same time, look in your current regulations and let me see if there's anything in there that says that the permit has to be for 1 year.
Well, and it won't actually, if we approved it, it wouldn't be for a year. It would only be for
Right.
9 months, given the timeline of permit renewal.
Well, and that would be happening to anybody who was coming in and buying that store. They'd be getting a 9-month permit, and the board, when they re-permit all of the vendors, has the right to refuse a permit to any vendor. So at that point, if there were further violations under Ali's ownership, then the board could refuse to issue a permit, or if there were further violations in the meantime, the board can suspend or revoke the permit if they want to. And I guess I want to echo the previous speaker. My concern is that there was no permit, and Ali should have not sold any tobacco products. They shouldn't have been in the store. And for, while the permit was pending, for him to have one almost violation, and, he can say that it was the product of owned by his employee and the employee was trying to sell it. But as the permit holder, he's responsible for the actions of his employee. And then the next one was having flavored vapes when the store was inspected. So I think it's concerning. But I don't see why there's no reason why you can't issue a permit for the 9 months.
Great. Rebecca, Katie, any further questions for anyone?
I'm good.
Okay, so at this point, I think the, just following the guidance that we've done on the last several hearings, we are gonna, ask for a motion to close the hearing. At that point, we would ask everyone to be on mute except the members of the board. We can ask direct questions of other folks. And we can then have that discussion, about the permit, and then we can elect or not elect to take a vote at that point. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So can I get a motion to close the hearing?
I motion to close the hearing.
Second that.
Okay. Christine Johnston, aye. Dr. Katie Jobbins,
Aye.
Rebecca Torsha. All right. So ladies, here, the question here is, whether we should be considering Mr. Scher's permit application. And I mean, I echo the concerns, that Sarah raised, that Tammy raised, you know, and then confirmed that this is, it looks like a pattern, with Mr. Scher's other store. If, you know, but, you know, I also don't want to, I mean, be very clear, right, that we do want to support businesses in town. And Tammy, actually, I'm going to ask the first question. At the last hearing, I believe you said that there was one other violation in town in the last year at a different establishment. Is that correct?
Yep, just one.
Okay, so just one, and the remaining permit holders have had no violations of the tobacco permit, in the last year.
None.
Okay. So this is obviously one establishment, whether under former owner or current owner, that, seems to be having a pattern, of issues. All right. Katie, Rebecca, open for discussion here.
I have very large concerns about the fact that if the child actually had an ID, even if it was not a valid ID, that cigarettes would have been stolen. Not stolen, sold. And that, unfortunately, knowing that there was a bunch of violations, and although I appreciate that Mr. Scher is paying off the fines, knowing that they were already under scrutiny, it should have been a zero tolerance policy regardless, that there should have been no products in the store at all to even sell. So I'm very concerned about the initiation of a license, even if it is only for 9 months.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, he's been consistent. And what's to say he's not going to try and keep up the same behavior?
Tammy, I have another question for you. If we do not approve the permit, is the permit still open, like accessible for another business to come into town? Because it is not a retired permit. We're not retiring it this time.
Exactly. We wouldn't be giving it out if that was what the vote was.
Okay.
So another business or another owner could come and apply.
Okay, so if a Cumberland Farms or something elected to open a business, there would be a permit remaining for another business in town.
Yes.
Okay. So we're not talking about retiring. I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page about what we were actually doing tonight.
And I have a question. So say in 6 months that their business does not have any more violations, could Mr. Scher reapply for this if we do not allow for him to get it now?
You mean what business?
So Mr. Scher owns Zane's Smoke Shop. If we say as of right now, because of the two near events that occurred, we would not approve, just say, again, hypothetically speaking, just so we understand the process, because we've never had to do this before. Say we say no right now, but if you have 6 months of no violations, you can reapply in 6 months.
Well, he wouldn't exactly, Donna wouldn't be doing youth compliance checks or anything
Gotcha.
like that. So it's
Yep.
not like he treated the same way, because that
Gotcha.
wouldn't really be fair if he's not. Does
No,
that
that makes sense. Again, I don't go into stores that have that, you know, from like your all's perspective, from the tobacco or also from the health department side of thing from your
Yep.
rollout? So,
Obviously, if he had a food permit and I would be inspecting it for the food and I showed up and there was tobacco there, that's one thing, but there would be no youth compliance checks. There wouldn't be any tobacco checks, anything like that. It would just be upon for a food service inspection.
Alex, I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that for me? So if Mr. Scheer does receive a food service permit, that would be the only inspection that would be taking place there.
That's correct.
If here's a hypothetical, and I hope it never would come to this. If you or another member of the health department were doing a food service inspection and found tobacco products on site, what happens then if we do not grant the permit?
Well, we could issue a cease and desist order.
I don't really know what it is. That's basically.
Because I think that's my concern, is that that this is a pattern behavior that may or may not continue whether there's a permit in place or not.
Okay.
Right? Obviously, granting a permit is it moves it forward, right? But you know, if there was no permit in place on November 26th or November 28th, then I'm concerned that there will still be tobacco products on site. And so I just didn't know what the process would be if that were to be the case.
We would still be utilizing the exact same regulations that, you know, they would affect him regardless. You know, we have the right to inspect, and cease and desist, similar to the ones that we've submitted in the past.
All right. Sorry, hit the button twice. Rebecca, any questions? Any further discussion that you two want to have? Okay. So do we have a motion? It would be a motion to either we need to make a motion to either approve the tobacco permit or a motion to deny the tobacco permit. Is that correct, Tammy?
Yes.
Okay.
The permit application.
Permit application. Sorry.
Application.
Yes.
my next question is, do we have to decide tonight? I think there's yes.
I mean, we have an open application right now in our system.
Okay.
I believe we usually give within 45 days to approve or deny.
When was it submitted?
Was it the 14th?
The 14th.
Okay.
So really, unless we want to do this next week, we should be doing it tonight.
Okay. I motion to reject the application.
And I second that
All right.
motion.
Okay, so the motion at hand is to reject the permit application for Mr. Scheer for Zane's Smoke Shop. The roll call vote tonight, Christine Johnston, aye. Dr. Katie Jobbins.
Aye.
Rebecca Torsha. All right, Mr. Scheer, thank you so much for joining us to talk about the tobacco permit. We know that you also have started a food service permit. And that is a different topic entirely, because that is a different permit application. And so, you know, we want to thank you. Tammy, should we be discussing that food service permit?
So right now, Mr. Scheer has submitted a plan review only for food service establishment, but he hasn't submitted an application for
Okay.
a food service establishment. So he would have to start that process as well.
Okay. So if you receive a completed application for food service, is that something we need to discuss to bring to the board, or is that something that the health department can just approve,
I
a
think
food
you,
service?
I think you can decide right now if it's something that you want to be part of. If not, we currently don't really have any reason to deny the food service aspect, other than any department in the town of East Long Meadow, per our town bylaw, can choose to not grant a particular permit based off of non-compliance with other regulations in town.
Okay.
I
All
think you can make that decision without us. I don't think that, at least that's my opinion on it. I don't know about the other ladies.
I feel no need for you to bring that to us unless there are other violations that arise in the process that we would need to be aware of before issuing a permit for food service. Rebecca, what are your thoughts?
That's common sense. Yeah. I don't think you need to bring us in.
But in order, obviously, in order to give a permit, the permit would have to be applied for. And then we would continue with the plan review process. Alex would conduct a inspection, and then it'd be granted.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that information. We appreciate that. Mr. Scher, we appreciate your time tonight. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. And for food application, I'll be able to pick up from the town hall tomorrow. I can stop by tomorrow.
You can start it online right now, the food service application.
Okay, I will
And
do
then-
that.
And then we will review it, and then we'll contact you, and Alex will contact you for an inspection. And then
Okay.
after that, if you pass the inspection, you'll be able to sell food again.
And one quick question for tobacco license: are you guys rejecting or just putting for next week?
Rejecting, so you won't be able to apply for that permit.
Even though like I'm a new owner and I'm paying off all the fine for the previous owner.
Yes.
And Mr. Chair, the reason that we voted for that not to happen is because since you've purchased it, there was 2 near violations that could have obviously been full violations if the youth actually had an ID. So unfortunately, they were offered cigarettes and not actually sold, but so that's part of what our decision was based off of.
There were actual violations.
Oh, I mean, that's sorry,
Not
yes,
near
they were actual
violations.
violations.
Those
Yes.
are violations.
Yep.
There was just not a violation of selling to a youth.
Mhm.
Mr. Scheer, do you have any further questions for us at this point about either the process to complete your food service application or the decision made by the board tonight?
I can for the food I can start working as soon as we're done from the meeting. I will work on the application food application tonight.
All right, great. We wish you the best of luck with that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Donna, thank you. Sarah, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Have a good holiday.
Thank you. All right, ladies, thank you so much. Another hard meeting. And hopefully we don't have to do any more of these hearings for violations or for permit review in the near future. So I appreciate your time. I know it's not easy. So Tammy, hopefully we have some good news to follow that up with.
Yeah, I think we have some good news. So we did have somebody accept our offer for the position for public health nurse. And she is actually an East Long Meadow resident, which is, I think, gonna serve the town really well. And we're hoping that she'll be able to start in the new year. And then hopefully after that, we'll have her come to the meeting and introduce herself. We are.
Do we know her name?
Her name is Chris Buffington Christie.
Nice.
And she'll be primarily located in the health department, but we will be sharing her with a council on aging. So I know it's really exciting because we do so many activities together as it is. So that's going to be great. And I'm looking forward to it because knock on wood, nothing that I can't handle happens before then, but it would be great to have her here. I put in here like respiratory disease season update, and with the hopes that maybe Dr. Jobbins would maybe give us an update. Everybody you talk to has some sort of sniffle and whatnot, and I'd love to hear it from your perspective.
Yes, of course. So what I was gonna say is, it is unlikely it is allergies. So someone told me the other day, it's my allergies. I'm like, which allergies would those be? Unless you're allergic to molds or dust, it is not likely allergies unless it's a Christmas tree that's alive in your home. So if you have the sniffles, please swab for COVID or see your primary care physician or your advanced practice provider so you can get swabbed for COVID or the flu or RSV. Unfortunately, we are seeing multiple iterations of dual infections with RSV and the flu or the flu and COVID. Strep throat is going around. There's a large stomach bug that's gone around through the school systems. And in the hospital, we are actually seeing people admitted with true COVID pneumonia again. So it's actual, they are ill. It's not as bad as it was, but it is still, a few people on my service, which is more than I'd like it to see. And the CDC and the national NIH released data that the COVID booster is lagging dramatically behind where they'd like it to be. So please go get your booster shots. The good news is if you are boosted, the likelihood that you have a severe illness goes down dramatically for all the things. And the RSV vaccine is available for the elderly and for a number of other patient populations. So I do recommend that as well. We are seeing RSV in the little ones a lot. So it's scary. But as of right now, numbers are not skyrocketing. They're steadily trending upward, which is what I'm sure you're probably seeing too from calls to the health department as well too. So wear a mask if you are sick or stay home, hand hygiene. And if you really don't feel good, I think try to work from home or not go to the party you're supposed to go to. I know it's really disappointing, especially this time of year with the holidays. But just being really cautious of public health measures. If your kid is sick, don't send them to their concert to have them sing in front of 100 people, some of whom are elderly or who have immune suppression. Not to be Debbie Downer, but that's just the reality of where we're at right now.
We made national news earlier in the month. The Daily Mail, which I guess is sort of a glorified tabloid paper, that a outbreak of white lung in East Longmeadow, which I felt like it was poorly researched, and the way they made it sound was that we're linked with only one other place in the United States, but really what it was all about was just the higher incidence of RSV and I guess the propensity for it to turn into pneumonia, walking pneumonia. So it was sort of a sort of sensational for absolutely no reason and nothing we didn't already know. And
I
it's
think
also,
go ahead.
No, we had I think the Washington Post call, and the thing is, neither of those are reportable diseases to public health. So even if we did see sort of numbers, that would not come through the health department.
And I don't know if we've had any of the salmonella outbreaks. That is a reportable disease too, but there was a huge outbreak with salmonella in the community in Western Massachusetts from various fruits and vegetables as well too. So
yeah, so far no. We did take appropriate action with there was recall notices for lead in applesauce, and the stores that did have it already had them off the shelves and notified, put signs
and
up.
the granola bars too.
But so far, knock on wood.
Yeah, we got an email from Big Y to throw away our granola bars.
Can't be healthy, You never hear recalls in chocolate, right?
I was just gonna say Doritos never get a recall.
Right? Well, don't say that now,
Yeah.
My kid cannot hear, thank goodness.
Everything in moderation, including moderation. And so we still do have COVID test kits in town hall. Stop by, pick some up, unless you think you have COVID, then we'll meet you out in the parking lot if you just call us up. 525-5400, that's our number, right? And we would be glad to go out there and give it to you Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, except obviously we'll be closed this Monday for Christmas holiday. Let's see. Not like the jazziest of subjects, but like right now we're kind of in between our sort of renewal seasons. Right now we have like pools and haulers and septic haulers are they renew at the end of the year, and we were able to get those all up on OpenGov. It was a little trickier this time because we didn't have the original grant had paid for someone from OpenGov to help us make them, but this time it was just up to me and Renee to figure out how to navigate that. So stay tuned on whether or not they worked well. And then we'll be moving next month. We'll start in January our first renewal season with the onlines, because in February food service renews. Is there anything else that renews in February? I don't know. Just food service. So that's going to be like a little nerve-wracking, and hopefully will go well.
But that's your big one. I mean, food
That's our big
services.
one. Yeah, and we have other departments that they're also the same time they're going to have to be going through it. So we're all kind of like, how do we do this campaign and everything like that? And so we're hopefully that will go smooth. And then this is the time of year where we start looking at our budget for next year, and that'll keep us busy once we get back from the holidays. Anything else exciting going on in health department?
I was gonna ask, I think my term ends in 2024. Is it the beginning of 2024 or the end of 2024?
I think it's whatever date that you were signed in. I will
I don't know.
that Debbie is usually the one that the town manager's admin usually reaches out and makes sure that those are all, and I know she just recently did that for Christine, so
Yeah, she
You'll be
just sent me an
made-
email and was like, "Hey, your term's up. Would you like to
Oh, okay.
would you
Yeah,
like
you'll
to
be-
reapply?" And by I had to send in like a couple of documents, updated something.
Okay.
It wasn't a process. And then it goes to the council, correct?
Yeah, it gets it just gets you just get signed off and sworn in by the town clerk.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I
it's-
thought that council approved all the board appointments, even the reappointments. Because remember when we had, Tammy, you and I had to go to the meeting about
what?
about going to an elected model, and they approve all the board appointments. So I suspect it goes to the council, but I can't remember. It was
I
fast.
believe that the town manager has the authority to approve for them in this instance, I think. Now that you say that, I might be confusing two different things, but
That's okay. We'll figure
all
it
done
out.
correctly.
Yeah.
I will say it's been this month also, so if anybody who knows kind of the structure of how things are in town hall, the health department shares office space with the town manager's office. And last month the town manager hired a deputy town manager, Rebecca Lissy. I feel like she's been an asset to town hall so far. She's had 10 years of experience as a city councilor in Holyoke, so she's sort of been no stranger to some of the stuff we've been talking about with problem properties and things that we have going on. So that's been kind of a nice new change up that has also kind of benefited us, I think, in a nice way, to be able to have her ear to throw out some of the issues that we've been going through, or just getting a kind of a new perspective on things. So that's kind of been really nice. And I'm hopefully, I feel we've always had some sort of other topic going on, and I know the town manager has kind of wanted to come on and just sort of introduce himself and talk. So it'd be nice to get both of them on maybe in the new year, and just to kind of a meet and greet with the board and everything like that. But I think Renee, anything that you can think of? Yeah. We had one Fix It clinic, but I don't think it was, I think because it's December, this isn't the month for it. I think next month people will realize all of the things that are broken, then they will probably start calling us up again for scheduling Fix It clinics. Oh, we're also talking with the library about doing a tool library, I believe is what they're calling it. So that you can rent out particular tools for either fixing something in your house, maybe doing some sort of project or a craft or something like that. And with the recycling dividends grant, maybe purchasing some sort of housing unit or shed for them to put the tools in. So more information on that coming. I actually did just talk to a library yesterday who has been doing it very successfully in their town. So that'd be kind of something neat to work on.
That would be cool for the stuff you only need like once.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I might draw the line. I don't know if we should be buying anything like a chainsaw or that just seems a little too scary to rent out without a lot of knowledge on how to use it. But I think it's going to be things like a rake, a drill, tools, a hammer, that sort of thing. Yeah, I think that's kind of, we've been, if anybody this week has come into the health department, they've seen that we've been it's been upside down because we're kind of trying to make the most of the space and put in a new workstation for having this new position. And with the new Jonathan Barrow, our new maintenance director, I guess you call him, for the buildings. He's been fantastic in having the workers come in and kind of fix up some of like the holes in the walls, things that had to be moved, like when HR came in and came out. But we've had a new coat of paint in some of the offices and it looks really nice. And hopefully once we get the workstations all set up and put together, we'll finally, it'll look like an office again. So I think that's kind of it for our updates.
Katie, Rebecca, anything either of you need to bring up tonight? No? Should we look at a January meeting that we can hopefully maybe invite the town manager and we don't have to have a permit hearing or a violation hearing? We'll hope. Thank you for answering all of our questions tonight. We appreciate it. It's
No, I just
not
really
something
think
that we do on a regular basis, so we appreciate it very much.
20 something years, it's not something I've ever done either. But we have such good resources with MHOA, with the Mass Municipal Association, with our tobacco coalition, that it's good to have those resources easily in at hand for us.
Yeah.
So do we want to do the 4th week of January? It's a long month.
Yeah.
A long month.
That works for me. Katie, what's your schedule look like?
I can do any night that week.
Rebecca, what about you? What's your schedule look like?
I'm open. That's fine.
Tammy?
Pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty
Right. So the week of the 22nd, is there, nobody
only
had
one
anything? Is there a best night?
The only one night I'm gonna not be able to do it, I just realized because my husband's out of town for work, would be the 23rd, but I can do the 24th, 25th, or I can do the 22nd.
You want to do does Wednesday, want to stick with Wednesday?
Wednesday's good. Yeah.
Okay. So Wednesday, the 24th at 6.
Perfect. We have a dental cleaning at 3:30, so I'll be sparkly for that.
Happy
All
holiday.
right.
Oh, wait. we have to-
Yeah, I'm going to make a motion that we adjourn this meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right. Christine Johnston, aye. Dr. Katie Jobbins.
Aye.
Rebecca Torsha. meeting adjourned, and I could not do this without my like agenda in front of me. So I would forget to do what, and all the things that people have sent me over the last several months about like, open this hearing, make a motion here, do this, do this. So appreciate Tammy, you and reaching out on behalf of the board and the health department very much. So everybody enjoy.
Happy holidays and happy new year.
Happy New Year.
Buddy, be safe.
Bye.
Good night.
In 2024.